Justin from Wastedge again. Just a quick demonstration video on how to export your invoice batches out of Wastedge and import them into the Quickbooks accounting package. Okay, so this training video assumes you've done your one-time setup link between Quickbooks and Wastedge. So if you haven't done that already, you might want to just stop this video and have a quick look at that one. It'll show you how to set up your chart of accounts, your default tax agencies and various other settings. Once you've done that one-time setup, you can come back to this one and start exporting your invoice batches to Quickbooks. So the first thing we need to do is go to the invoicing area in Wastedge and select a batch or a one invoice in this case to export. My invoice number 26 going to Bondi Development Group. I'm going to export now by choosing the action drop down button. If you've got QuickBooks selected as your accounting package in the invoice setup page in Wastedge, you'll have this QuickBooks download invoice option. So I'm going to click on that now. That's going to generate an export file in QuickBooks format for me. And there it is. So I'm just going to save this to my desktop. It's usually quite a quick process. It'll be a zip file, and within that you will see an IIF file, which is a QuickBooks invoice file, and I've just saved that IIF file to my desktop. So that's the Wastedge side of it done. Now we hop over to QuickBooks, and the importing process is done via the file menu. We go down to utilities, over to import, and we choose IIF files. So at that point it's going to get you to select your IIF file, which I've saved to my desktop. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to press open, and it tells me that my data has been imported successfully, which is good news. If there were any problems that came across, data mismatches or any issues, it would let you know at this point that it was unsuccessful, and you would have to rectify that situation before you attempted to import that invoice again. So what we're going to do is just now that the data's been imported, we're going to go and find that invoice and take a quick look at how it's come in. So it was invoice number 26, there it is. Again, it was to the Bondi Development Group, which is just a test customer obviously, and that's how the invoice comes into QuickBooks. If you need any information on how to set up and customize this description line for each job that you do in Wastedge, there is another training video specifically on that one, so make sure you have a look at that, and you can choose if you want the job numbers, the service types, the container types, the waste types, etc., to all make up part of that invoice description. One thing to point out with the QuickBooks invoices, you'll notice that there's no tax code being assigned to the invoices, and the tax amount is blank. That is a restriction on the QuickBooks import process. They don't let you choose a default tax code or anything like that. That's actually set up in your excuse me, in your preferences under tax, company preferences, the default tax code. So this again is mentioned in the one-time setup training video, and explains that in a bit more depth. But nevertheless, the tax is still allocated. As you can see there, we've got a $50 job, and if we go down to the total tax area, we can see that it has $5 of tax applied to it. So the default tax code that I just showed you has been applied and will always be applied to all the invoices that get imported into QuickBooks. So Yeah, that's all there is to it basically. So nice easy process. Whether you're doing one job or a monthly batch of jobs, it's just a repeated process, and the systems marry up quite nicely. So okay, thanks for your time today.